In the distant future, across the stars, there was something called the Galactic Games. Every advanced world in the galaxy sent their best champions to compete. The games were not just a contest of strength, speed, or skill. They were a symbol of pride, showing off the power and ability of each species. Only the best could even hope to win. For a long time, Earth was not invited. Most alien species saw humans as too weak, too simple, and far behind in technology. On many worlds, humans were only mentioned as traders or explorers, never as champions or warriors. But this year, things were different. Earth finally got the invitation. It surprised everyone, even the humans themselves. The people of Earth were both excited and a little scared. No one wanted to embarrass their whole planet in front of the galaxy. So Earth began looking for its best. The Galactic Games were hard. Each world sent its strongest, fastest, and smartest. After months of tests and training, a team was chosen. They were not perfect, and some weren't even the top athletes on Earth, but they worked well together, understood each other, and believed in their mission. There was Emma, who had trained as a rescue worker. John, who worked with machines in the cold of Antarctica. Lucas, a biology student who could climb anything. Maya, a fast runner from a small village, and David, who never gave up even when he lost. Their ship to the games was small and simple. As they left Earth, the team looked back at the blue and green planet through the windows. They knew they carried more than just the hopes of their families. The whole world would watch them, hoping for some small victory. The games were held on a huge artificial world built with bright towers and floating arenas. When the human team landed, they were met by the sounds of thousands of aliens cheering and laughing. Some had scales and claws, others fur and tails, and some floated in bubbles or moved on tentacles. The announcers shouted names that meant nothing to the humans until it was their turn. And now, the newest and most curious competitors. "Earth's humans," boomed a voice over the speakers. The humans stepped forward wearing simple clothes and carrying only a few bags. Around them, alien teams wore special suits, armor, or carried devices that shined with strange lights. The other competitors stared at the humans with surprise and amusement. "Look at their soft skin," whispered a big red-skinned alien with 4 arms. "No armor at all!" Another, covered in blue feathers, giggled. "Are they really here to compete? They look like they belong in a kitchen, not in the games." Emma and her team heard the laughter and felt the eyes on them. David tried to smile, but his hands were shaking. Maya reached out and squeezed his shoulder. "It's okay. We're here. That's what matters." The first event was a race, a classic test to open the games. The track twisted and turned through tunnels, up walls, and over pools of strange, sticky liquid. The other teams warmed up, stretching their extra limbs or adjusting their armor. The humans did a few short stretches, looking nervous. When the starting signal sounded, the aliens shot forward. Some flew, some crawled at amazing speed, some leapt huge distances. The humans ran as fast as they could, but it wasn't close. Emma slipped on the sticky surface and almost fell. John pushed himself hard, his breath coming in loud gasps. Lucas tried to climb a wall, but a lizard-like alien scurried past him easily. By the time the race ended, the humans were far behind. The screens around the arena showed slow-motion replays of Emma almost slipping, John's tired face, and Lucas looking, surprised as he was passed by so many faster aliens. The crowd roared with laughter. In the team area after the race, the humans sat together drinking water and trying to catch their breath. David looked at the scoreboard. "We're last," he said quietly. Maya tried to encourage him. "It's just the first event. We'll do better next time. We're learning." But the mocking didn't stop. Alien reporters crowded around asking strange questions. "Did Earth send you as a joke?" asked one with a flashing blue eye. "Will you quit before the games finish?" Another asked, "Are all humans this weak, or only the ones from Earth?" John answered, "We may not be as strong or fast, but we don't quit." That night, as the human team prepared for bed in their simple quarters, the others could hear the noise of the alien teams celebrating. On the screens, commentators laughed about the soft ones from Earth and played the race over and over. But not everyone was laughing. On a small planet far from the games, people watched quietly. They saw the humans try, fall behind, and keep going anyway. Some saw hope, not just embarrassment. The next day brought a new event, the Strength Challenge. Heavy objects had to be lifted, carried, or moved across the field. The aliens shined again, showing their natural power. A bear-like alien easily lifted a metal block twice its size. The four-armed team from Graylor tossed huge stones like toys. When it was the humans' turn, Emma and John tried to lift the block together, straining with all their strength. They moved it a little, but not far. The crowd clapped politely, but it was clear who the favorites were. The humans kept trying, working as a team. They talked quietly, planned their moves, and helped each other when they fell. Lucas, the biology student, even suggested ways to use leverage, pushing with their feet against the field instead of just pulling. They never gave up, even when the scoreboard showed them near the bottom. After the event, the humans returned to their room. Emma said, "We may not be the strongest, but we're not giving up. Let's keep learning from each event." That night, the team watched the replays together. They saw how the alien teams celebrated, but also how some aliens looked at them. Differently now, not with laughter, but with a kind of curiosity. The next event was the Agility Gauntlet. This was a twisting course with spinning obstacles, sudden drops, and strange creatures jumping out. The humans studied the course together, talking about how to help each other. They decided to take it slow and focus on finishing, not on winning. When the event started, the alien teams rushed ahead, using their special abilities to swing, jump, or fly through the course. The humans moved carefully, warning each other of dangers and helping up anyone who fell. Lucas climbed a tricky wall using techniques he learned from climbing trees on Earth. Maya ran ahead to spot the safest path, while Emma helped David when he slipped. The crowd expected another weak performance, but when the humans finished the course together as a team, they received polite applause. They weren't the fastest, but they finished with fewer injuries than many alien teams. After the Agility Gauntlet, the humans were still at the bottom of the scoreboard. But this time, the laughter was softer, and more aliens watched their teamwork closely. That night, as the stars outside the arena glowed, the human team sat together, thinking about the days ahead. Emma spoke, her voice steady. "We came here to do our best. We can't change who we are, but we can show them our spirit." The sun rose above the giant arena, shining down on the second day of the Galactic Games. The human team woke early, ready to face another day full of challenges, laughter, and strange surprises. They stretched quietly, each lost in thought about the events so far. Though they had finished every event, they were still at the bottom of the scoreboard. But none of them talked about quitting. Instead, there was a stubborn hope in their eyes. Emma checked the event schedule. "Today is the obstacle maze," she said. "It's supposed to test our thinking, not just our bodies." John nodded, tying his shoes. "Good. Maybe we can do better with our minds." The team walked to the arena. The obstacle maze was huge, full of shifting walls, glowing symbols, and weird sounds. Overhead, screens showed the path, but from inside, everything looked confusing. Alien teams gathered. At the start, each looking confident in their special suits or armor. The human team wore only simple uniforms, looking plain next to the bright, shining outfits of the others. A tall, green-skinned judge explained the rules. "This event is not about speed alone," he said. "You must reach the center of the maze by solving puzzles, avoiding traps, and working as a team. Good luck!" The crowd cheered as the teams lined up. Emma looked at her team. "Remember, we stay together," she said. "Watch for clues. Help each other." At the sound of the horn, everyone rushed forward. Some alien teams split up right, away, hoping to cover more ground. The humans moved as one, trusting that teamwork would help them where strength could not. The maze twisted and turned, sometimes opening wide, sometimes closing tight. Strange machines blocked the way and odd smells filled the air. Lucas spotted the first puzzle, a set of colored blocks that needed to be placed in order. He remembered something similar from his childhood and quickly solved it, unlocking a door. "Nice work," Maya said, giving him a quick smile. Further inside, John noticed a floor tile that was loose. He warned the others, and together they found a safe path around it. At another dead end, Emma found writing on the wall in a language she didn't know. David used his small translation device, and together they figured out the message. "Look up." Above them, a hidden door waited to be opened. Other teams were not so lucky. The four-armed Greylor team argued over which way to go and ended up circling the same path. The bird-like aliens flew up, but triggered an alarm and were sent back to the start. On the screens, the crowd laughed and cheered at the chaos. Inside the maze, the humans kept moving. They listened to each other, shared ideas, and solved puzzles. One by one, they didn't move the fastest, but they rarely made the same mistake twice. At one point, Maya slipped and nearly fell into a trap, but John caught her arm just in time. Emma thanked him, and they moved on, a little more careful. Halfway through the maze, the teams faced a large gap they had to cross. Some aliens leaped or used flying belts. But the humans had only a thin rope in their supply bag. Lucas suggested tying the rope between two metal posts. Maya crawled across first, testing the strength. One by one, the others followed. The crowd watched in surprise. No one expected humans to get this far. Finally, the team reached the center of the maze. They were not the first to arrive, but they were not the last. The judge congratulated them. "You have shown cleverness and teamwork. Well done, Earth Team." The scoreboard showed they had moved up, no longer last. Some aliens looked at them with less laughter and more interest. The announcers even talked about the unexpected cleverness of the human team. After the event, the team returned to their quarters. David flopped onto his bunk, tired but smiling. "We did it," he said. "We really worked together." Emma nodded, feeling hope grow inside her. "Let's keep it up." That evening, as they ate simple food, a small message arrived on their screen. It was from another team, the Zunari, who had watched the humans closely. The message read, "Impressed by your teamwork. Would like to train together before the next event." The humans were surprised, but happy. They agreed to meet in the training hall. There, the Zunari team showed the humans some of their stretching and balance exercises. In return, Emma and her team taught the Zunari how to spot simple traps in the games. The two teams laughed and shared stories about their home planets. For the first time, the humans felt less alone. Even though most aliens still thought of Earth as weak or behind, a few now saw them differently. Maybe, just maybe, the humans could earn some respect. The next morning brought a new event, the Endurance Relay. This challenge was famous for breaking the spirit of even the toughest competitors. It was long, hard, and tested everyone's willpower. The course crossed deserts, icy tunnels, and underwater sections. Each team had to pass a baton from one member to another, with each section harder than the last. The alien teams prepared, their strongest members ready to face the harshest parts. The humans looked at each other, knowing this would be their hardest day yet. They decided who would take each section based on their skills. Maya, the fast runner, would take the desert. John, used to the cold, would handle the icy tunnel. Lucas, who swam as a boy, would go underwater. Emma and David would support in the final leg, together. The relay started with a loud horn. Maya dashed into the desert, her legs pumping hard as the hot wind burned her face. Around her, alien runners, with thick skins or extra legs, moved quickly. She stayed focused, breathing in short bursts, and never stopped. She remembered running through fields back home, thinking of her family watching on Earth. Maya handed the baton to John, who entered the freezing tunnel. The cold bit into his fingers, but he remembered long shifts working in Antarctica, fixing, broken machines with numb hands. He moved slow and steady, never giving up, even when he slipped and fell. Finally, he handed the baton to Lucas. Lucas dived into the water, holding his breath and kicking hard. Alien swimmers with fins and tails shot past him, but he didn't panic. He moved carefully, remembering every lesson from childhood. He finished the section and passed the baton to Emma and David for the final leg. Together, Emma and David ran, crawled and climbed the last section. It was hard. More traps, more surprises, but they helped each other every step. When they crossed the finish line, their bodies shook with exhaustion. They were not first, but they finished strong. The sight, crowd cheered, some even standing up for the effort. After the race, the humans collapsed together, hugging and laughing with relief. They looked up at the scoreboard. They were not last anymore. In the medical area, an alien medic approached. She had green scales and gentle eyes. "You humans are tougher than you look," she said, bandaging Emma's arm. "You never give up," Emma smiled. "That's just how we are." As the day ended, the human team rested, feeling a new pride. They knew they still faced many tough challenges, and most of the galaxy still saw them as weak. But now, a few aliens were watching, them differently. Some even started to ask questions about Earth and about humans. That night, while the team slept, news spread across the Galactic Games. The human team had finished every event so far, never quitting, never falling behind for long. The other teams started to notice something new. Humans were not just here to lose. They were learning, adapting, and growing stronger each day. Back in their small room, as the lights dimmed, Emma whispered, "Tomorrow is a new day. We'll keep showing them who we are." The days of the Galactic Games passed quickly, each one filled with noise, excitement, and new lessons for the human team. Emma, John, Lucas, Maya, and David kept pushing themselves, learning something from every event, every mistake, and every bit of laughter they heard from the crowd. Each night, the team talked about what had gone well and what could be better. Even when they were tired or hurting, no one talked about going home. They only promised to keep trying. Soon, it was time for the next event, the Heavy Trials. This event was different from all the rest. It was famous for breaking even the strongest alien teams. The Heavy Trials tested every part of a champion's body and mind, putting them through impossible weight challenges, gravity traps, and strange environments that made muscles ache and bones feel weak. Every alien competitor seemed nervous as they entered the giant hall where the trials would happen. As the human team walked in, the announcers started up again. "Let's welcome the softest, simplest team in the games, Earth's humans." The cameras focused on the team, and the screens above flashed with images of their last-place finishes and awkward moments from past events. Some aliens laughed, but now it was less cruel and more out of habit. Emma led her team to their spot. She looked at her friends. "We know what we're facing. We do our best. We work together like always." John nodded. "And we never quit." The Heavy Trials started with the gravity run. Each team had to run across a field where gravity changed every few steps. For heavy aliens, this was easy, but for lighter ones, it was a trap. Maya started for the humans. The first few steps were fine, but suddenly, her body felt 10 times heavier. She forced her legs to move even as her feet sank into the special floor. The crowd watched as she kept going, sweat pouring down her face. When she finished, The scoreboard only showed average time, but the announcers spoke with a little more respect. The next challenge was the boulder push. Teams had to move a giant metal ball up a steep hill. The Greylore team, with 4 arms each, laughed as they rolled their boulder quickly. The humans stood at the bottom of their lane, looking at the heavy ball. John and David went to one side, Emma and Lucas to the other, and Maya stood behind to push. They counted down and shoved as hard as they could. At first, the boulder barely moved, but slowly, inch by inch, it started to roll. By the top, the whole team was red-faced and out of breath, but they finished. Some aliens clapped politely. Others just watched, surprised that the humans did not give up halfway like some other weaker teams. In the break between events, an alien named Saran from the Zunari team walked over. She offered the humans water and a small snack from her planet. "You keep going even when it looks impossible," she said in her soft, musical voice. "Most teams would just wait for the next event. I respect that." Emma thanked her. The team felt a little better after that. The last part of the heavy trials was the labyrinth of machines. In this challenge, each team had to solve puzzles while fighting against strong robotic arms and moving walls. It was dangerous and confusing, even for the best. When it was the humans' turn, they entered together, eyes wide and hearts pounding. The first trap was a spinning platform with rising blocks. Lucas spotted a pattern and called out directions. "Left now, wait! Go right!" The team trusted him, moving together to avoid the spinning blocks. Next, robotic arms tried to knock them off their path. John used his work experience to time the swings and told everyone when to move. Emma and Maya stayed in the center, helping David when he slipped. They finally reached the core puzzle, where wires and screens flashed with colors. Emma looked at the alien symbols and guessed at what to do. Lucas used his quick hands to match the wires, and John noticed a hidden switch underneath the puzzle. With teamwork and sharp eyes, they solved the puzzle and escaped just before the walls closed in. As the team left the labyrinth, the crowd was almost silent. No one expected humans to finish the labyrinth at all. The scoreboard showed the humans, moving up again. They were still not the top team, but now they were far from last. That night, the team sat together, bandaging wounds and sharing stories. "I didn't think we'd make it through that last part," David admitted. "But we did," Maya said, smiling, "because we worked together." Emma looked around at her friends. "We're not just here to win. We're here to show what humans can do." The games continued, and soon it was time for the knowledge duel. This event tested memory, quick thinking, and understanding of alien history, science, and logic. Many expected the humans to fail, but Lucas was ready. He loved puzzles and riddles. Emma and Maya had spent the night before reading everything they could about alien cultures and science. The duel was held in a round chamber. Each team sat at a desk with glowing buttons. The questions began, some about galactic laws, some about ancient history, and others about science or numbers. The humans missed a few, but Lucas got several right with clever guesses, and Emma remembered a strange fact about an alien language from her conversations with the Zunari. By the end of the event, the humans scored in the middle of the teams. Some in the crowd even cheered for them. Later that day, as the human team walked to the food hall, a group of alien children ran up to them. "Can we take a picture?" one asked, holding a small camera. "You're our favorite team." The humans were surprised, but happily agreed. For the first time since the games began, they felt truly welcome. That evening, as the sun set over the shining city, the human team looked up at the stars. The games had been harder than anything they could have imagined. But each day, things got better. Their bodies were tired, but their spirits were strong. In their quarters, Emma gathered everyone. "Tomorrow is the final event," she said. "We're not going to be the strongest or the fastest, but we can be the bravest. We can show everyone that humans are more than they think. John nodded. We'll give them something to remember, as they slept. None of the humans knew what was coming. The galaxy was about to witness something it would never forget. The next morning, as the team dressed for the last event, a delivery arrived at their door. Several large, sealed crates marked with Earth's symbol. The team looked at each other in surprise. Emma picked up the note on top. Open these before the final challenge, from Earth Command. With a sense of mystery and excitement, the team opened the crates. Inside, they found something they had only heard rumors about: shining, form-fitting suits made of special material, flexible but incredibly strong. These were Earth's secret power armor suits, designed for exactly this kind of test. Each suit fit perfectly, adjusting itself to the wearer's body. John ran his hand over the suit. I can't believe it, he whispered. These are real. Lucas grinned. Now, maybe we won't be the weakest team anymore. Emma nodded. Let's save this for the right moment. As the time for the final challenge arrived, the human team carried the crates quietly with them, still wearing their usual uniforms as they joined the other teams in the main arena. All around them, alien teams wore their best gear, ready for the hardest event of all. The gauntlet, a mix of every skill, strength, speed, and knowledge challenge faced so far. The announcers talked excitedly about which alien team would win, barely mentioning the humans. But as the starting horn sounded and the teams began to rush forward, the humans calmly opened their crates at the starting line. One by one, they pulled out their power armor and put it on, the suits closing with a quiet, confident sound. The crowd, and even the other teams, turned to stare in shock. The giant arena buzzed with excitement as the last and most difficult event of the Galactic Games was about to start. Aliens from across the galaxy filled the seats, eager to see which team would become the champion. Giant screens above the arena showed the faces of each team, and the human team, once the subject of laughter, now drew curious stares. Something about the way the humans stood was different today. Calm, steady, and full of quiet confidence. Emma, John, Maya, Lucas, and David stood at the starting line, each wearing the secret power armor that Earth had sent them. The suits looked simple, but up close, the aliens could see the armor fitting each human perfectly, moving smoothly as they walked and flexed their hands. There were no flashy lights or glowing effects, just the look of strong, smart technology, designed for real challenges. As the event began, the announcer's voice echoed across the arena. The final challenge will test every skill, every strength, every bit of courage you have. May the best team win. The horn sounded, and the teams charged forward. The first part of the challenge was a huge obstacle field filled with spinning blades, rising platforms, and slippery surfaces. Alien teams used their special skills. Some flew, some climbed, others used strong limbs or sharp claws. But when the humans entered the field, their power armor took over. The suits balanced their movements, helped them land safely, and even gripped the slick surfaces better than bare hands could. John led the way, showing the others how to use the armor's extra strength to jump higher and avoid the spinning blades. Spectators stared in shock as the humans moved through the obstacles. With new speed and power, a team of strong, armored aliens tried to catch up, but they slipped and fell. Emma reached out and grabbed one of them, helping him to his feet. The alien looked surprised, but thanked her, impressed by her kindness as well as her strength. The second part was a maze with rising walls and sudden drops. Maya took the lead, the armor mapping out the safest path for her. She guided the team quickly and safely, while other teams got lost or trapped. In one tight corner, David used the armor's special sensors to find a hidden door, saving his team precious time. At the same time, the other teams began to realize the truth. These primitive humans were no longer weak. Their new suits were the most advanced technology anyone had seen at the games. Even the judges whispered to each other about Earth's surprise. Soon, the next test began, a strength trial where each team had to lift a massive pillar and carry it across a rough field. The Greylor, with their 4 arms, finished quickly, but when the humans reached the pillar, they did something different. Instead of rushing, they planned their moves together. The armor's strength boosters let each of them share the weight equally. Step by step, they moved as one, balancing the heavy pillar perfectly and setting it down gently at the finish. The crowd, once loud with laughter, grew quiet. Now, everyone watched the humans, waiting to see what they would do next. The next section was a puzzle zone. Machines dropped blocks in random patterns, and the teams had to build a tall, stable tower while avoiding moving traps. Lucas's armor let him grip and lift the blocks with perfect control. Emma spotted patterns in the machines, timing, warning the team when to move. Maya and David used the armor's sensors to track the traps and avoid them. Their tower rose straight and strong, while other teams' towers fell apart or crashed down. When the judges announced the humans had the highest, most stable tower, cheers broke out from different corners of the arena, some from young aliens, some from other teams who had come to respect Earth's strange ways. As the challenge moved into its hardest phase, the humans faced the gravity well, a deep pit where gravity changed suddenly and made it hard to stand, much less move. Even the best alien teams struggled, many fell, and some needed help getting back up. The human suits adjusted automatically, helping each person balance and stay on their feet. Emma and her team moved together, taking slow, careful steps, supporting each other every time one slipped. When they reached the top, the judges nodded in silent respect. With only one task left, the humans found themselves among the top 3 teams, a surprise to everyone, including themselves. The final task was the most dangerous, a timed rescue. Each team had to save a robot civilian trapped in a burning structure, flames simulated with safe lights and heat. Many teams raced in, grabbing the robot and running out as fast as possible. But the humans used their armor's sensors to scan for weak points in the structure. Emma ordered the team to move together, cutting through a jammed door with the armor's built-in tools. Lucas used the suit's cooling feature to keep the heat away, while Maya guided David through the smoky halls. They found the robot in a corner and lifted it gently. On the way out, they passed an alien team struggling to escape. Emma stopped, signaling her team to help. Together, the humans lifted a fallen beam and freed the trapped aliens, bringing them out to safety along with their own robot. When they emerged, the crowd rose to their feet, cheering louder than ever. Even the teams that had once laughed at Earth now clapped and nodded in respect. The judges checked the results. The humans had finished the rescue quickly, with no mistakes, and even helped another team escape. The scoreboard flashed, showing the humans now in second place, something no one had expected when the games began. The announcer's voice trembled with excitement. Earth's humans have completed the final challenge, using technology, teamwork, and bravery never seen before in the games. As the event ended, reporters from all over the galaxy rushed to speak to the human team. One with 3 eyes asked, "Where did you get such amazing armor?" Emma smiled. "Earth has been learning too. We wanted to show the galaxy we are more than just what you see." A young alien girl waved shyly and called out, "You're my heroes!" Back in their room, the team took off their armor and looked at each other in amazement. John laughed. "I think we finally stopped being the joke of the games." Lucas grinned. "We might have even made a few friends." That evening, a celebration was held for all the teams. Aliens who once ignored the humans now greeted them, offering food and stories from their worlds. The Greylor team leader raised a glass and said, "Earth, you showed us what true strength is. It's not just in the body or the armor, it's in the heart and mind." Emma and her team smiled, grateful and proud. They knew they might not win first place, but they had already achieved more than they dreamed. They had earned respect, not just from the other teams, but from the whole galaxy. As the celebration continued, a judge approached Emma. "Your power armor is impressive, but it was your team's spirit that inspired everyone. Will you share your technology and your ideas with the games in the future?" Emma nodded. "Earth will share. We want to learn from others too." Late that night, as the stars shined over the quiet arena, the humans looked out the window, thinking of home. David whispered, "Do you think people on Earth saw what we did?" Emma nodded softly. "I think the whole world is watching, and maybe now the whole galaxy will see humans in a new way." The Galactic Games were finally coming to an end. The shining city was filled with the noise of celebration, music, and voices from 100 different worlds. Everywhere the humans went, aliens waved or called their names. For the first time since their arrival, Emma and her team felt like true equals among the galaxy's best. The power armor had changed everything, but it was more than just technology that made them heroes now. It was the courage, teamwork, and kindness they showed, both in and out of the arena. As the last day arrived, every team gathered for the awards ceremony. The great hall was filled with banners, lights, and a crowd of thousands. Giant screens showed the highlights from all the events. Humans lifting the heavy pillar together, saving trapped aliens, solving puzzles, and racing across the arena in their shining armor. Clips of Emma's smile, John's brave lifts, Maya's fast runs, Lucas's clever ideas, and David's steady hand played over and over. Even alien commentators, once so quick to laugh, now spoke with respect. The human team wore their simple uniforms instead of the armor for the ceremony. They stood quietly, holding hands as the names of the winning teams were called. The Greylor, with their 4 strong arms, had earned 3rd place. A team of flying Zunari came in first, their special wings and high technology making them tough to beat. Then the announcer called, in 2nd place, surprising everyone and winning the hearts of the galaxy, Earth's human team. The crowd erupted in cheers. Emma and her friends walked to the center stage, where the judges placed silver medals around their necks. As they looked out over the arena, it didn't matter that they were not the strongest or the fastest. They had become something new, a symbol of hope and possibility for Earth. After the ceremony, teams from all over came to congratulate them. The Greylor leader clapped John on the back and said, "Your team is the bravest I have ever seen. Next year, I hope to compete alongside you, not against you." The Zunari champion, who had flown fastest in the skies, told Maya, "We always thought humans were weak. Now, I see your spirit is stronger than any wing or claw." Even the judges invited Emma to join a special council that would plan the next games. "We want Earth's ideas and technology. Your team changed the meaning of these games forever." As the celebration grew, a group of alien children rushed to the human team, asking for autographs and stories. Lucas knelt down and showed them how the power armor worked, how it made a small, soft hand strong enough to lift a heavy stone. The children laughed and took turns pretending to wear invisible armor, running in circles and calling themselves Earth Champions. That evening, after all the celebrations, the human team finally returned to their small quarters. The medals hung around their necks, shining in the soft light. Emma sat by the window, looking out at the stars. David joined her. "Do you think we'll ever come back here?" he asked. Emma nodded. "I hope so. There are so many more things to learn and more friends to make." John, always practical, checked the crates where their armor was stored. "We should be careful. Some might want to copy our suits," he said. But Lucas smiled. "It's not just about the armor. Everyone saw that. It's about how we use it. Together." Maya, tired but happy, stretched out on her bunk. "I never thought I'd feel proud of coming in second," she said. "But I think we won something bigger than gold." Their conversation was interrupted by a soft chime. A message had arrived from Earth. The whole team gathered around as Emma opened it. The faces of their families and friends appeared, each full of pride and excitement. Their country's leaders, and even the United Galactic Council's representative. For Earth spoke together. The entire world watched you. You inspired us all. You showed that humans belong in the stars, not because of what we have, but because of who we are. As the message ended, Emma wiped a tear from her eye. For a moment, no one spoke. Then John stood up and raised his medal. "To Earth," he said. The others raised theirs too. "To Earth." The next day, before their journey home, Emma and her team were invited to speak before the Galactic Council. It was a huge honor, one given only to those who had changed the games. The hall was full, every seat taken by leaders and scientists from across the galaxy. The team stood together, still in their simple uniforms. Emma spoke first. "When we arrived, many laughed at us. Maybe we laughed at ourselves too. But we learned something important here. We learned that real strength is not just in muscles or machines. It's in teamwork, kindness, and never giving up, even when things look impossible." John spoke next. "Our power armor helped us, but it was built from years of working together, sharing ideas, and trusting each other. We want to share what we've learned, just as you all have shared with us." Lucas added, "We hope to come back next year, not just to compete, but to learn from you and with you." The council listened quietly. Finally, the chief judge stood. "Earth, you have changed the games. You have given every world here a new reason to hope and a new reason to try. You are always welcome here." As the meeting ended, alien teams approached the humans, asking to trade technology, share training, ideas, and even visit Earth one day. Some who once laughed now asked for advice. That afternoon, the humans prepared to leave for home. Their ship was small, but as they looked back at the shining city, they felt bigger than ever. The medals were packed away, but the memories stayed with them. As their ship lifted off, Maya watched the stars. "We came here as strangers," she said. "Now we're part of something much bigger." Emma squeezed her hand. "And this is only the beginning." Back on Earth, when their ship landed, crowds waited at the spaceport. News cameras flashed and voices cheered their names. The whole world seemed to celebrate their return. In the weeks that followed, the human team traveled, everywhere, sharing their story with children, teachers, and leaders. They taught others about teamwork, about believing in yourself and your friends, and about respecting every person's strengths. Earth itself began to change, too. Other nations and companies started working together more closely. New inventions came from the power armor technology, helping with construction, rescue work, and even caring for the sick or injured. People remembered that the armor was strong, but it was made even stronger by the people who used it. Soon, the team received another invitation from the Galactic Council asking them to return for the next games. This time, it wasn't just to compete, but to help train others and share Earth's technology. As Emma and her team read the invitation, they knew that the adventure was far from over. The galaxy was wide, full of surprises and challenges. But they also knew that wherever humans went, they would bring with them the same spirit that had turned laughter into respect and weakness into strength. In the years that followed, many new teams from Earth came to the games. Some won medals, some did not. But every team was welcomed as equals. The story of the first human champions was told and retold across the stars. And on quiet nights, when Emma looked up at the sky, she remembered that amazing adventure and smiled, knowing that somewhere, among all those shining stars, friends from every world were remembering her team, too. For humans, it was never just about winning. It was about being brave enough to try, caring enough to help, and wise enough to learn. That was the true power of Earth. The power that no one could ever laugh at again.